Welcome everyone. My name is George Kiriakou and I'm the Director of Digital Marketing here at UNICAF, HQ in Cyprus. Today I'm very pleased to have with me my colleague Agatha Garagosta, and together we try to explain all about UNICAF, our programs and the application process. If any one of you are interested to sign up for our programs. Agatha is a performance officer and a very experienced student advisor, so I think she would be a perfect fit to answer any questions you guys might have at the end of this presentation. So please feel free to type in your questions. So before I begin, just extend my thanks to Jiraj and the team for the opportunity today, and hopefully we're going to have more webinars in the long run, so we can be more focused and more specific on a course or on a specific subject or any other sort of popular subject you or the audience might have. So today we're going to run through very briefly about who is UNICAF, about our UNICAF Scholarship Programme, the different kind of partnership we have, run through the different programs within those partnerships, really explain why our students really choose UNICAF, the different kind of advantages or benefits they thought studying with us have given them. I'm also very excited, as already Jiraj mentioned, we're going to have Winnie Rachel, a very recent UNICAF graduate, which again, it will be a perfect fit to give us an insight into the journey of being a UNICAF student and what actually the UNICAF Scholarship Programme really did benefit Winnie, both on personal and a business level. So let me just give you a brief introduction about UNICAF. UNICAF is a leading online platform facilitating online delivery of affordable, flexible, and high-quality university education to eligible applicants in Africa, where we have been really focusing for the last couple of years, but we are opening our opportunities for everyone around the world. So we're constantly adding more programs and more partners and making available them to a global audience. We are a part of a wider European educational organization. We have really a wealth of experience, more than 30 years in the international educational market. And I think this is very important to highlight, especially after the unfortunate events we have still going with COVID-19. A lot of you might have seen a surge, an influx of really online providers or actually students choosing to study online, or schools and universities turn to online platforms to deliver what they have as a brick and mortar sort of operations. And it's very important for us to say that UNICAF has been doing that properly, a very user-centric approach to online delivery for a number of years. This is not something new to us. This is what we have been doing. This is what have been building all these years. This is what we're trying to enhance constantly, not only with courses, not only with new partners, but also the actual user journey, the user experience via various interactive and very advanced tools, our virtual learning environment. So in essence, UNICAF is really able to deliver and sort of operate in this new marketplace. We have already awarded more than 100 million worth of scholarships. So we have changed more than 30,000 lives. And our mission is to increase higher education, not only in Africa, as I said earlier, but to a much more global audience. To a bit more information about our support we have, we are backed up by top investors in Europe, in the UK and the USA. Really important names, the latest Goldman Sachs, also CDC, a branch of the UK government, sort of investment. We have been mentioned in the global media with important publishers such as the New York Times, Forbes, and other really important media. So as I already mentioned, the UNICAF Scholarship Programme enables students to study for internationally recognized degree programs offered by reputable partner universities. At the moment in the UK and Africa, we have 3 UK partners where we're going to go through later on through the list of programs for each one. And of course, you can study at a fraction of the cost. And that means that in many cases, we have scholarships up to 80% of the tuition fees. And of course, the student is asked to pay the remainder of the fees, but you can imagine the advantage of having to study abroad, especially in the UK, with all the expenses and all the accommodation and all the costs that goes associated with studying in a foreign country. With our scholarship program, you can choose to study at home, stay in your country, keep your job, family commitments, or anything else that might be really a burden into your continuing education. So as we mentioned earlier, at the moment we have 3 UK partners: the University of Suffolk in the UK, Liverpool John Moores University, and very recently the University of East London. Also, we offer our programs in our multi-campus UNICAF University in Africa, where students can choose to study either online or they can choose to study in a more traditional teaching environment with face-to-face sessions, access to material and other on-campus facilities. We have campuses in Malawi, Zambia, and also licensed already to very soon operating in Zimbabwe, and plans to have in many more countries. Before going through actually the programs under each of our partners, I think it's really important to say that UNICAF continuously try to deliver and add more programs based on demand. What are the really popular programs in the workplace? We really run wealth of surveys from students and other audiences where we drive a lot of data, and which strive to give to our students, the variety of courses, not only in terms of quality, but of industry related, and of course always in partnership with reputable, established institutions, such as the partnership with the University of Suffolk, where UNICAF delivers the university's programs online. And again, I want to stress out that UNICAF is not just a platform that we just have the courses. We are actually the approved global delivery partner of the university. So we are actually the online division of this partner. We deliver everything from start to finish. You are studying as a University of Suffolk student through our platform and towards your journey to graduation, as a normal student from University of Suffolk would do. So at the moment we run actively 2 programs from the University of Suffolk: the Master of Science in Public Health and the Master of Business Administration. But with the hope to, in addition of maybe 3 or 4 more programs, possibly before the end of the year. But as I said, we're continuously adding more programs in our portfolio. The next university, which already running for a bit more longer time, I would say, from last year, Liverpool John Moores, a very dynamic institution with a very wide community of students and a wealth variety of programs. So again, UNICAF very pleased to be acting as a global delivery partner of the university. So anyone who wishes to study from this university online again, it will be possible to do that only via UNICAF. So, so far we have more programs under this partnership. Some of them still subject to validation, and I think that shows the quality and the quality that we strive to maintain and to try to run everything according to the regulations of the partnership and the institution. Once those checks, once all those things are in place, we release actively all of the programs, but you still can register to all of the programs you can see on your screen right now. So we have 7 programs currently with the university. Master of Arts in Education, Master of Arts in Leadership in Education, one of the newest programs, Master of Arts in Mass Communication, a very popular one, the Master of Arts in International Relations, as a specialization, and the same goes for the International Public Health, the Master of Science in International Public Health. Master of Science in Psychology, and of course a postgraduate certificate in education. Again, there are plans for many more programs under this partnership, so we are hopeful we're going to have more populating this list before the end of the year, or fairly soon, I hope. The latest addition to our portfolio of partnerships is the University of East London, and we are very pleased to have this university as part of our partners. It's a very well-established British brand, and we are already in the works to make available a number of programs. If I'm not mistaken, probably another 6 programs. But at the moment, we have the Master of Business Administration and the LLM, which again is a very popular, well-sought program, and really excited to have this under a very well-established UK brand. So, as I said, currently this is available partnerships under the UNICAF Scholarship Programme. Again, I want to stress out that we offer scholarships for all these partners. Of course, we are taking each individual case. We review, and according to your circumstances, you'll be offered the appropriate level of scholarship for your program of choice. And of course, Agatha can maybe explain the process, which is a very easy process, and it doesn't take time. Someone can apply and, of course, start studying to the program of his choice fairly soon. Of course, we have the UNICAF University as well. As I mentioned, UNICAF, from the get-go, we're very, very focusing in Africa, and the reason being that we know that there is a huge pool of resources, a huge demand for postgraduate education in the continent. And of course, that was a challenge for millions of people. Just couldn't just get places, universities, the state universities, or any other available institutions. Huge demand and a very small supply. So UNICAF stepped in. We have a mission to increase access to higher education. So we have really a large presence in Africa, throughout Africa, currently operating in more than 12 African countries. But we are trying to increase our presence, throughout the continent. We have access to Egypt. We have learning centers to Egypt, Ghana, Kenya, campus in Malawi, learning centers Morocco, Nigeria, Somalia, Uganda, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Zambia, again with a campus, and also Rwanda, hopefully very soon. So the plans is for further expansion. So as I said, our state-of-the-art campuses operate, offering to students also the ability to study in a more traditional sense via blended learning. So UNICAF University is something that probably Winnie can give us a bit more insight later on to, as a recent graduate, it can give us really how it feels to be a UNICAF University student and her experience, as I said, throughout from start of the application process to the journey towards your graduation. There are many programs under UNICAF University, and of course there are programs not only on a master's level, we have bachelor's all the way to PhDs, but for the purpose of the presentation today, just listed the master ones. So you can see we have more specializations currently under UNICAF University, from healthcare management to web design development, and different specializations for the MBA route. So any of you that you have interest in any of those programs, it's very important to highlight. Not only you can study those via online delivery, but you can actually choose to study in your country of residence, even if indeed we have a campus there or a learning center, or maybe it will be easier for you if you are from Africa to travel to these countries. You can really ask any questions you might have in that part, and how easy, and any information related to UU specifically. At this stage, I also want to highlight our special promotion we have. I think we're very happy to continue this promotion. For every student, we offer free tablets to help them to get going with their studies. And of course, if you are paying the required minimum deposit. So please feel free to inquire for this offer once you apply to your enrollment advisor. I think it's very important, as I said earlier in the introduction, to mention that we run a variety of surveys. We continuously ask our students, ask our interested applicants, why they choose UNICAF, what actually UNICAF means to them, and it's constantly, these four sort of highlights, benefits that constantly are the ones that really show the benefits of the UNICAF Scholarship Program. Of course, as we said, you can study for a UK degree, sometimes depending on your circumstances, maybe from £5,000 for a master's degree from a UK institution. So a low cost, a very affordable cost for a lot of people in many countries. Otherwise, possibly they wouldn't have the opportunity to study. Of course, easy access. Our virtual learning environment is available to the student 24/7. Sometimes is a lot of people saying, it's easier, I have the access anytime I want, it's there. I can do my own schedule, I can keep, my family, my friends, the business, I can still keep my work, and I know I can make it happen. And we continuously invest in our learning environment. We try to make this as more user-centric as possible. Our ability to utilize new technologies for effective learning, like videos, polls, quizzes, essays, group projects, workplace scenarios, I think are very, very important. And of course, we continuously adding extensive material into our e-libraries, which again, for those choosing to study on ground, on campus, are available to them as well. So imagine that you're going to be a part of a community of more than, from working professionals and other people from more than 156 countries at the moment. We have students from more than 156 different countries. So UNICAF is here to grow strong, still maintaining our mission to increase access, as I said, to higher education, not only in Africa, but around the globe. We're becoming a movement, so please come and join our movement, at least inquiry, find out if you have concerns, and we're here to help you, to give you any direction or information you might have. Of course, accreditation is something that is very important, and we are happy and very pleased that not only our UK, established brands goes without saying, from the universities in the UK, but also our UNICAF University. Very pleased have local license in many countries. Also, recently been accredited from the British Council, right? So British Accreditation Council. So again, accreditation is very important and is ranked as one of the reasons from our students. And of course, I think we're making as easy as possible for people to register, to apply. You apply online or through our UNICAF mobile app. Actually, I will encourage people to maybe sometimes use the UNICAF mobile app. There are more offers, and sometimes we run offers on our app for registrations, applications, with a much bigger percentage of scholarship. Again, we continuously adding resources and features on our mobile app. So not only you can study online, but you can study on the go soon. And you can do so many things on the mobile app. So at this time, maybe I should stop talking and I will allow you, Agatha, to maybe give us a bit more insight into the process or how people can apply, what they should expect.
Yeah, sure. Hello, guys. Pleasure to be with you today. So I'm going to say a few words about the application procedure. Once you create an application through our mobile app, or you can also visit unicaf.org in order to create an application. Once you do that, you basically will be assigned to a student advisor who will guide you and help you throughout the application process. The student advisor basically is responsible for ensuring that you are academically qualified, eligible for the program that you're interested in proceeding. So the advisor basically is responsible for collecting your academic documents. For example, since we are referring to master programs today, you need to have your bachelor certificate and your transcripts as well. Depending, of course, on the university that you apply to, requirements might vary. So you need to have, for British universities, basically you also need an honours degree in order to be eligible. But sometimes work experience also can add as an additional credential to their application. So the advisor will be responsible for collecting your academic documents. As I mentioned earlier, your certificate, your transcripts, an up-to-date CV, your personal statement. Of course, the advisor will also give you some tips, let's say, on how to prepare these documents if you don't have any experience. So you don't need to worry about that.
So I think the most important as well is, as you mentioned, I mean, the financial aid and the scholarship, but we can really offer customized payment plans.
This is one of our
according to their circumstances.
This is one of our greatest advantages, I think, our ability to prepare tailor-made payment plans, basically for our applicants. So you need to be basically both academically and financially qualified, since this is not a full scholarship. Okay, we cover a very important percentage of the cost, up to 80%.
Yeah. But I think, someone can study from 5,000 for a UK degree.
Yes, and we have this ability to prepare the payment plan according to your needs. And we also have another privilege of if someone, let's say, is interested in applying, but he wants to start studying with us next year, he can also do that, provided, of course, he meets the certain...
people can actually do like one module at a time, right?
Yes, one module at a time for all universities. So this gives you also the ability to really assimilate knowledge that you are gathering. Okay.
And also the contained time of studies.
Yes,
they
you
can
can
do
also
that.
take time off studies, provided, of course, you inform the relevant
Yes. But there
people.
is a flexibility around it, the whole thing.
Yes, it's very flexible. You have access to the material 24/7, as George mentioned earlier. So you can study and work at the same time at your own time and convenience. You have access to the material anytime you need.
Yeah.
And you can also apply today, complete the procedure today, secure your place and scholarship today, and start studying in 6 months from now, or even in a year from today, whenever you feel ready.
Yep. And I think just people, if they want to apply, there's no any commitment from their part. If they're just going to apply, they're going to get a call. If they want to continue, if they're eligible, it's fair enough. So,
provided they follow the terms
not,
and conditions of the scholarship.
Absolutely. So there's no any commitment from your side. So please feel free to apply.
They should also visit our webpage.
Of course, UNICAF.org, the URL is there. Yeah. Please feel free to send us any questions you might have. We're happy to answer, provide more information. Thank you so much for the time being. I'm sure we're going to have some questions, maybe specific later on. At this point, I think I will invite Winnie. Winnie, how are you?
Hey George, how are you?
We're very well. We're glad to hear from you. Glad to see you again. I hear
Good to see you too.
Loud and clear. So I had the privilege, and I was so happy to meet Winnie face to face last year, right? South Africa.
Yes, in Cape Town.
UNICAF conference. So it's nice to have someone a UNICAF graduate. So who else to explain to us what it's like to be a UNICAF student. So I will kindly ask you to provide a bit of more insight to our audience. How easy it was, first of all, to apply, the whole process with the student enrollment advisors, the scholarship you've been given, the actual study.
The experience.
Of course, experience, the study, the whole journey from start of the application all the way to your graduation. And of course, any other effect you had, of course, in your personal and business sort of life.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, George, for this opportunity. First and foremost, I'd like to thank UNICAF for the wonderful opportunity that they are giving each and every person out there. The chance is there for each person who is willing to pursue their education. I remember very well in 2017 when I knew about UNICAF, I was in my lowest and I wanted to pursue my master's degree, but I couldn't. The reason being that I am a firstborn in my family and I had a lot of responsibilities. The people coming behind me, I am the one who was paying their fees. So it could be like very difficult for me to continue pursuing a master's degree as I do the same. So literally I had given up for my master's. I had said that is something I'll do maybe 3 or 4 years to come. So when I came across UNICAF and the scholarships that they were offering, I thought, let me give it a try. And so on the applications, when I made the first application and got the offer that was handed to me, that was the 80% scholarship to pursue MSc Organization Psychology, I was very excited, but that did not stop there. Because I remember when I was, just like Agatha was mentioning about the payment plan, that is one of the motivators that made me start my master's, because now you're here, you can be able to speak to a student advisor and agree on a monthly payment whereby you can be able to dispense and continue with your education. That was very exciting, and it just jump-started me, and I said, this is something that I need to go for, because time is money and time was running for me. This was also very much key for my career at that particular time. So when I was recruited into the university, it was way easy, because we were taken through, we were assigned into the VLE, which is very much flexible to use. Anybody can use it. And the beauty about it is that you can use it from anywhere, from wherever you are. You can access it and just log in and study. The online library within the VLE is also a very wonderful platform that I must admit, because it's easy to navigate. It's also has different options whereby you can use infographics, you can use video, you can use, you can read your material. So at any given time, I had an option whereby after work, I could be able to choose which option I would use in my studies. That made it very easy. Also having in mind that I am a wife, I am a mother, and also I am, I am a worker. So all this balanced together with the education. If it was not for UNICAF, I really don't think I'll be able to pursue my master's during that particular time. I come from Kenya, and so many people who know Kenya, who have visited Kenya, know that there is a lot of traffic in Kenya. And so those people who are pursuing their degrees or master degrees really have a difficult time, because if you have to leave work at around 4 or 5 to go to class at a certain university, then you'll waste like 2 hours on the road. Yeah. So when you go to class, that you waste 2 hours, you get into class, and then again, like another 2 hours to go back home. Remember, you won't be seeing your family. You also miss on a lot of things during the weekend. So for me, it was an online learning, so I would just set myself on the hours to study. So for instance, if I am supposed to be at work at 8, I would set up a few hours during the morning hours, the one that I would have wasted on traffic, just to continue with my education during the morning session before I go to work, and also in the evening. Another thing that really excited me was how these modules have been scheduled. You have 1 week whereby you have these assignments. So I know what I'm expected to do as a person at the end of the week. So it's easy to plan my day, to plan myself, and know that I need to get discipline, do my assignments in time, continuous assessments, and all that. So that was a very wonderful opportunity. And the best part of it is, there were months that maybe I thought I had a lot of workload at work, or I have a lot of things that I need to do in my personal life. Then I don't need to defer from the university. I just let that module pass, and just then get on to the next module the next month. So for me, that was like, oh, this is what I needed, because I see in many universities in Kenya, if you defer, you have to go through a process of writing a letter to the admissions, and all those things. It just takes a lot of your time. And also remember that if you, for instance, have an issue with payment, then you defer, at some point you get to lose your application, even if you had taken 3 or 4 semesters. Yeah. So the good thing about UNICAF that also motivated me was, if I am not in a position to pay during that particular month, I then can just defer during that module and join in the next module. I was so excited to meet a lot of people, because each cohort comes with different people. I have made friends in Nigeria, I've made friends in South Africa, in Jamaica, and all over the world. So we have this WhatsApp group that we have formed. This is a family. We study together. We have video calls. And so it's a very interesting kind of study that doesn't lock you into a 4-block room like the normal university, whereby if you are not there, then you cannot be able to study. So for me, it's been a great experience. I remember once we finished, we winded up on our dissertation. Another issue we have in Kenya is on the supervisors. They really take a lot of time before you graduate with the dissertations and all that. I had great supervisors who would correct my dissertations and get it back to me several times, and we would go through it so fast, and within no time I was done with my dissertation. Quite exciting. And immediately after that, we were awaiting our graduations. And irrespective of the fact that COVID-19 was there, UNICAF was came in first in to graduate the lot online. So that was one thing that also excited me, because we were not kept aback from graduating. Everybody graduated, and we had our certificates, and currently you can apply for jobs, and also just grow in your career if you would wish to use your certificate. There are several other advantages I would say that I've gained in UNICAF, because there's something that they introduced called the Premier Certificate. I know most people have not, as a student, maybe you'd understand it as a student, whereby you are able to access your certificate online. And even employers, you can give employers the link to access your certificate even during the time that you have not received it physically. So for me, what else could I have gone for except for that? It was such a great journey, but also just to remember that at some point, if I was able to refer a student, that amount was actually deducted from my fees. So it is possible for you to study with UNICAF if you are so much aggressive. I was quite engaged, so I didn't spend much time on the EU referral. I would like to encourage the students who are willing to apply to take advantage of the EU referral scheme, because each time you refer somebody, then you'll be able to, of course, just have a fraction of your fee cut off, and that can go on. You can study for free. So George, for me, that's my success story. I am a graduate now. That's the most important thing. I'm looking at pursuing my PhD with UNICAF sometimes later this year. And I'm so excited to be an alumni of UNICAF. Remember also, as George mentioned, we have our international student activities that we get to attend yearly. And so 3 have happened so far. You get to vote where you want to go. And so it's a forum where at the conference, people network, people share the information and all those things. So be part of the growing family for UNICAF and all the benefits that it has, so that you do not miss out. Thank you, George.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to hear that you're doing even more studies with UNICAF, and good luck with that. Also, as I said earlier, that there is opportunity to study with UNICAF at a very affordable cost, but unless you really want, unless you put in the time and the sort of really engage with it, like we obviously have done, we can't really, you really need to need this, to want this. So I'm very excited for Winnie. Also, I want to promise to Winnie that it would be a proper graduation for very soon, because of course we've done the online graduation due to the COVID-19, unfortunately, but of course people will graduate normally, and I promise that to Winnie. I hope everything goes well.
And people can attend the annual graduation on campus.
Of course.
If they wish.
Yeah. And again, for anyone applying and also study for any university under our partnerships, you can study online, but you can still graduate on campus.
And another important factor that we forgot to mention is that although the studies are online, the certificate that you'll be receiving again will not stay online. Neither the certificate nor the transcripts. It will be the same value as a campus degree.
That's why we haven't really, I don't think we forgot it, but it goes without saying. That's, you are a student, as a normal student, you just get the benefits of having all this flexibility, affordability, availability at your fingertips. So I want to thank Winnie for all the insights and a very good summary of her experience, but also because you mentioned the UNICAF referral program. So thank you so much. Yes, if anyone is interested, whether you want to study with us or not, you can still apply for a UNICAF referral program. You can still make some money and help someone close to you. You can either the student will get either reduction as Winnie benefited from that, but also maybe if you're not a student, you get a cash reward, and depending of course on how many people you refer, that can grow to a very reasonable amount. So if anyone is interested, the URL is on the screen. Please sign up. It's available for everyone. So I think that's it for us today. I know we have many more to say, or we can really be specific on a specific program, on a specific partner, or any other sort of kind of operations under UNICAF, and I hope we'll get the opportunity.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you very much for the presentation. And now it is time for the questions. I would like to invite everyone that would like to ask any questions to our participants today to type them in the Q&A box on your screen. If you're joining us via mobile, there is a small square saying Q&A. And you can tap on it and you can ask us the questions that are of interest to you. We already have some questions that have accumulated, so we will start with those. And I will be asking the questions so that you can answer them. I'm sure that there will be some questions for Winnie as well regarding her experience with the program. So it would be nice for her to also be present at the Q&A session. Let's start by clarifying. There is a question that is repeated a few times. Maybe you can summarize. It was already mentioned during the presentation, but how can you apply for the scholarship? And can you summarize the process? So how does the thing work with the scholarship program? You apply, then you get accepted, then you go for one or another program. If you can just put those in a few steps, I think it would be nice to clarify for our audience.
Sure, yeah, of course. I mean, first of all, as we share the links, people can apply either on the unicaf.org/apply website, or even download our UNICAF mobile app on the Play Store, Google Play, or on the Apple Store. So you apply, you go to the scholarship form, you of course complete your details, first name, last name, country of residence, phone number, email address, and of course there's a choice of the program or partner you are interested to choose. Once you apply, of course we're going to have your inquiry diverted to one of our advisors, such as Agatha, and again,
I think there is an automated email.
Of course, there is an email confirmation,
yeah.
and a form, of course, will follow up from an advisor, and then you can go through the process again if you want in some steps.
Yes, sure. Once the application is accepted, and once you confirm, of course, your email address, you'll be assigned to a student advisor who will be contacting you in order to assist you further with your application. And as I mentioned earlier, the student advisor basically will be responsible for ensuring that you are eligible for the program that you're interested in proceeding with. And he will guide you throughout your application process. He'll be collecting your documents, and he will help you out up until the moment you get registered as a student.
And of course, this process depends also from the availability of the requirements provided by the student. As soon as they have all the requirements,
the sooner the better, because the number of scholarships is quite limited.
Yeah.
And that's why we recommend to people, even if they are interested in starting in a year from today, they should apply and complete the application process, secure their place in scholarship. And once they do that, they will be able to commence their studies whenever they wish.
That's great. That leads us to the next question. To clarify, do you have any deadlines for registration? Maybe that's also a question for the universities. I mean, the university that you are representing, if they have any deadlines.
In terms, I mean, if the deadlines is referring to deadlines on how long you need to finish your degree once you start.
When should people apply for this scholarship? Is there any date?
No, people can apply to the scholarship, so they can start new modules almost every month, subject to demand. But once you've been applied to the course and been accepted and be given a scholarship, there is no any more other deadlines, unless there is, of course, you need to finish the degree within the 2 or 4 year period, according to the partner, according to the program of choice. But students can apply and start modules. We have people starting every month.
Having new
intakes every month. So new monthly intakes plus study in modules constantly.
Okay, that's great. So every month you can apply for this scholarship program. There is another question here by Jan Erwin King, who is asking us if you are accepting scholars in Asia, and maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the geographic scope of the scholarship program.
Yeah, as I said earlier, I mean, we focus from the get-go, let's say, in Africa, but now it is reason, I suppose, for the webinar today and hopefully for more to come, that to really introduce our program and our partnerships to a global wide audience, and already have students from 156 countries. So absolutely yes, we don't have any restrictions for any country.
Okay, that's great. Now we have a few questions regarding the universities that you represent and your partner universities. So there is a question here by Hajar who's asking us, do John Moores Uni require GMAT for admission?
That's a question, I suppose. Do we need that? Do we know that for sure now, or should we get that offline?
Well, that is basically a question that concerns the admissions department.
Yeah. So there is, I assume, of course,
The main requirements basically are an honors degree or a bachelor's degree with a considerable amount of work experience.
Yeah.
Of course, your proof of English language is a must. If you don't have a proof of English language, you'll be given the opportunity to take an English placement test from our side in order to proceed with the evaluation of the application.
There is reference to the specific admissions, of course, vary depending on the
case by case.
Yeah, but we can answer the specific one maybe offline, Jiraj, just to be on the safe side.
Yes, of course, of course. You can always follow up via email with the candidate.
Criteria already mentioned are enough for admission, but just to answer the specific question, we can come back to the applicant, to the student offline.
Sure, sure. Okay. We have another question here, Pilar, regarding the regarding the Suffolk University. How can I apply for Suffolk University through UNICAF?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, going through the unicaf.org website and on the form, on the second step on the form, or if you go to the apply, unicaf.org/apply, it will be a section in the form where
you'll be able to
choose the university you want. Yeah, from the form. Yeah. So it's very easy. On the form, you choose a university partner and the program you're interested in.
Okay, great. Sonny is asking us here regarding fees. How much is your minimal fees? Any particular amount?
Minimum fees. The only minimum fee we have is, of course, once you want to proceed, you made the application, and once you proceed, of course, you have an application fee if you're going to proceed.
That's the application.
That's the application fee.
In order to submit the application to the admissions for evaluation. And there's no, we can't say, of course, what is the minimum that you can pay for the program, since we have the scholarship committee who will be deciding on the percentage of scholarship that will be approved.
Well, as I said, I mean, if you are eligible for the top 80%, you, without being very, very strict absolute here, someone can study for Suffolk, let's say, from, as I said, for the total amount up to 5,000, around 5,000, if you have the top scholarship percentage allowed given to you. So, but again, if you compare to what is
applicants can do their own research, the initial cost of the program.
Yeah, they can do their own research, of course. That's what I'm saying. If you compare studying in the UK for a master's degree, I would say minimum of, I mean, just for the tuition fees,
12,600.
12,600 just for the tuition fees, not on top all the accommodation, visa, and then all the support you need in a foreign country. But to be specific, again, an applicant can make the application. Once you receive the email confirmation, then an advisor will call in, and at that point, he can find out the specific monthly installment it will cost him or her to study. It will vary depending on the duration of the plan or the customized payment
And the
plan?
applicants have the ability to prepare the payment plan
Yes.
according to their needs and affordability.
Yeah, someone might
That's very
have 200 a month, someone have 300, someone might have, I don't know, I'm just saying numbers. It's all
We
depending.
have a special offer now in place where applicants can choose a payment plan with 98 British pounds or US dollars, depending on the university that they are
Absolutely, yeah.
that they
Per
are
month.
interested in per month.
Per month.
98 US dollars or British pounds per month for your installments.
You just prolong, of course, the duration, but this is what it costs you every month. So imagine you spend that money, I don't know, going to the weekend to cinema or something, I don't know. I mean, it is very affordable if you really are interested to study for an international recognized degree from a UK institution, and you are struggling, or you think money is a problem, or you think how I can make this to work, you can. Seriously, you can. So.
And what Winnie said earlier, that this is a module-based program.
Yeah.
And for example, if you decide that you need to take a break, a month or two, once you complete your module, you don't rush into the next.
Mm-hmm.
Take a break for a month.
You take a break, you continue your work, you get a pay rise because you started, I don't know, you come back and continue. It's a lot of flexibility.
Module, yeah.
So I hope that answered the question. But again, we are available, and anyone applying will get all the information needed from an advisor.
That's nice. Okay. Francis is asking us, is English certification required for an application?
Is
English certification.
English certification, for example, IELTS, TOEFL, any of the exams.
a requirement. But if an applicant doesn't have IELTS or GCs, we offer the opportunity to take an English placement test.
Yes.
In order to determine their proficiency in the English language. Yeah.
I would assume that anyone probably needs to communicate in a good English level to study for our programs. Of course, we have even programs in French, but this is another story. Maybe it's another webinar. But if people are French native, we do have a UU in French. And of course, we have plans to have more languages and more programs translated. But yeah, maybe it's another webinar on that front. So next question.
Okay, so we are almost out of questions. So I would like to encourage you to ask your questions, because I'm asking the last questions now. So I would like to invite everyone that has any more questions, please type them in the Q&A so that we can answer those questions for you.
If I see one which someone asked, will an early application increase the chances of getting a scholarship?
Yes.
Please do. That's what I'm saying. We have a lot of scholarships, but it depends on the partner, the program. They are limited, and of course, as I said, if you apply early, you secure possibly a larger percentage of the scholarship, so it costs less for you. So please do. Yes, is the answer.
Okay, that's perfect. And we have another question here by Sonny, who is asking us if there is a scholarship on materials. He wanted to enroll for a master's in economics, and he's from the Philippines.
Yeah, if it was, sorry, can you repeat that?
If the scholarship covers materials.
Oh, okay.
Everything is included. Okay, the payment plan that we mentioned earlier, you will also be able to see all the total fees that you will need to pay for the entire program. That includes all the material. You won't have to pay an additional amount to what the payment plan indicates, unless, of course, you fail to pass a module. And only in that occasion, you'll be asked to pay again for that module and retake it.
Mm-hmm.
Only in that case, upon failure of a module.
Okay. So the last question I see here is, are the scholarships full or partial? But I think
Partial,
that,
we cover a very important amount of the initial cost.
We don't offer full scholarships. Actually, we do offer full scholarships only on certain exceptional circumstances, and also in some sort of offers we periodically put out, and people, of course, in their country
It
will
will
see.
cover up to 80%.
Yeah,
basically.
but that's what I said. Compare. I mean, someone here. I can see a question in my eye now. Someone asking how much money is needed per month to cover living expenses in the UK. Well, we don't offer places in the UK. It's all about online. So that's what I'm saying. If you wanted to go to the UK, probably you were thinking about, I don't know, 1,000 pounds to live. I mean,
it's good if the applicants do their own research before coming to us to see the costs.
Absolutely.
And
compare. Go to the University of Suffolk website, have a look on the fees if you want to go to the UK to study, and then come to UNICAF and compare the two. And then you see the difference. Again, I want to stress out that you are a student of the institution, as you are, as anyone is studying on campus. We are the approved only global delivery partner of the institution. So it's your choice. You want to keep your commitments, your work, stay home, stay safe, of course, and don't have to worry about traveling in a foreign country, in an expensive country. Then UNICAF is your choice. And if you want to have any more information about that, as I said, apply, and we're here to help you out.
okay.
Here, how long is the MBA program?
Yeah, that's it as well.
The duration of the program is approximately 2 years. Of course, that also depends on the student.
Of course.
We mentioned the breaks earlier on.
If you don't take a break and you're a really good student,
You'll be able
2 years.
to
But if you want to take it a bit more flexible,
it depends on you. Minimum duration, 2 years, maximum 4.
Yeah, maximum 4, I would say. It's not dependent on you.